I talked to Art Rayburn, that his dad owned the Rayburn store, and I guess he's a lawyer in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And so he was telling me all kinds of stories about the Porters. Apparently the Rayburns, the Porters would go in there and the Rayburns, they'd just eat it up. So he told me stories about Levi Porter, several stories that I'd never even heard before. So because his dad and grandpa owned that store.
I don't think they like to talk much about Levi, did they?
We've heard.
Oh, Levi was a good boy.
What was up with Levi?
Well, while we're on Levi,
Oh, no.
who was talking about, just a while ago, somebody was talking about him hypnotizing the preacher.
Oh, well, I've heard that
Oh,
story.
yeah.
You heard
Yes.
that one?
Well, I love to hear that. That's,
My dad told that long time.
Yeah, he tried to.
Well, how'd your dad tell it? How'd he hear it?
He said that they was back there and having the awful meeting ever was, and said, some of them said, well, said it's test him and see if he's any good. And said, we'll take Levi. And Levi said, well, I can, if he's a good man of God, I can't do nothing with him. But if he ain't, said I can do it.
I can shit it.
He said he went and said he sat there, Levi did, and rubbed that beard and looked right at that preacher, and that preacher got up and he said, well, he said, the devil's in the house tonight and I just can't preach.
He must have been a character, that Levi.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, and then what I heard about that story, after he was so successful with that preacher, he came over here to Fairview and tried to hypnotize his brother, Steve Porter. But Steve knew what he was up to, and he stopped right in the sermon, right in the middle. He said, Levi, if you don't quit messing with that demon power, you're going to go straight to hell. He couldn't.
I wonder
couldn't
how
pull
he knew what he was. So did he just sense it, or
it.
He knew.
I bet he sensed it. Plus, he knew Levi's tricks.
He got a hold of some of them books.
Didn't care about